The Harmattan winds grew fiercer as the days passed, as though the season itself sought to warn Amanko of the brewing conflict. The village council convened a special meeting to determine Chijioke and Adaugo's fate. The elders, with their long orji staffs and stern faces, sat in a semicircle under the ancient oak tree. Omenuko, his spirit heavy, reluctantly brought his daughter before them. Chijioke stood beside her, unbowed despite the murmurs of the gathered villagers. His eyes swept across the crowd, catching the accusing stares of those who believed the rumors of a curse. But what caught his attention most was the subtle figure of Obinna smirking from the shadows, his arms crossed confidently. Elder Nokaik, the most senior of the council, spoke first. Chijioke, the winds whisper of your past. Tell us, who are you truly, and why have the spirits chosen to haunt us since your arrival? Chijioke exhaled deeply, his shoulders heavy with the burden of truth. I was once the heir to the ease of Umedike, he began, his voice steadied despite the crackling firelight that lit the evening. But I fell in love with a maiden forbidden to me, Neoma, a priestess dedicated to the god of Harmattan winds, Aikno. Our love was a sin against the gods. When we tried to flee together, she was struck down by a curse, and I was banished with the mark of my betrayal. He paused, his voice trembling. Since that day, the Harmattan wind follows me, carrying her grief and the anger of the gods. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Elder Nokaik's brow furrowed as he turned to Adaugo. And you, Adaugo, do you still choose this man, knowing the curse he carries? Adaugo stepped forward, her chin high and her voice firm. I do. I will face the wrath of gods and men alike, for my love for him is stronger than the wind. Her defiance shocked the council, but it enraged Obinna. He stepped forward, his voice dripping with venom. You would endanger this entire village for your selfish desires, Adaugo. You have been bewitched by this outcast. He turned to the elders. This is not love, it is a curse that will doom us all. She must be stopped. The council deliberated long into the night, while the Harmattan winds howled like a lamenting spirit. In the end, the elders decreed that Chijioke and Adaugo must leave the village by sunrise, never to return. If they stayed, their lives would be forfeit. Before dawn, Chijioke and Adaugo packed what little they could carry. As they prepared to leave, Omenuko approached them. His face was etched with pain, but his voice was calm. Adaugo, you are my only daughter, and my heart breaks to see you go, he said. But I will not stand in the way of your happiness. Take this. He handed her a small, carved amulet. It is a charm of protection. May it shield you from the wrath of the gods. Adaugo embraced her father tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks. Thank you, Papa. As the first light of dawn broke over Amanko, the lovers set out into the wilderness, the Harmattan winds their only companion. They traveled for days, seeking refuge in forest and deserted lands, but the curse followed them relentlessly. At night, the wind whispered Neoma's name, and Chijioke felt the weight of her grief in every gust. Adaugo remained steadfast, her love a beacon of hope in the darkness. We will find a way to break this curse, she told him. The gods may be angry, but even they cannot deny the power of love. Their journey led them to a distant village, where they heard of an ancient shrine dedicated to Aikno, the god of the Harmattan winds. It was said that only those willing to make the ultimate sacrifice could plead their case before the god. Desperate, Chijioke and Adaugo sought out the shrine. The shrine stood atop a rocky hill, its entrance guarded by crumbling statues of warriors. The wind howled louder as they approached, and a deep sense of foreboding settled over them. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of incense and the flicker of dying flames. A priestess emerged from the shadows, her voice echoing like the wind itself. Why have you come? Chijioke stepped forward. I have come to seek forgiveness and to lift the curse that plagues me. The priestess's eyes narrowed. The gods do not forgive easily. To break this curse, one must offer a life. Adaugo gasped. No. There must be another way. But the priestess shook her head. The curse is bound to the Harmattan wind. It demands a soul to appease its anger. Chijioke turned to Adaugo, his heart breaking. It must be me. This curse is mine to bear. Adaugo grabbed his hands, her tears falling freely. No, Chijioke. We will find another way. The priestess watched them in silence, and then she spoke. The choice is yours. But the gods are watching. As the winds grew fiercer, Chijioke made his decision. He stepped toward the altar, ready to offer himself. But before he could speak, Adaugo pushed him aside. If the gods demand a soul, let it be mine, she declared. Chijioke's life has already been filled with pain. Let him live and find peace. The wind suddenly stopped, the silence deafening. The priestess's expression softened, and a voice echoed through the shrine, deep and resonant. It was Aikno himself. Adaugo, the voice boomed, your love is true and selfless. You have proven that even the fiercest wind cannot extinguish the fire of love. The curse is lifted. The wind swirled around them one last time, then vanished, leaving only the gentle warmth of the rising sun. Chijioke fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face as he embraced Adaugo. Chijioke and Adaugo returned to Amanko months later, their love stronger than ever. The Harmattan winds no longer carried whispers of curses, but instead the promise of renewal. The villagers welcomed them back, their story a testament to the power of love and sacrifice. And so, as the Harmattan season came and went, Chijioke and Adaugo's love endured, as constant and unyielding as the winds that had once sought to tear them apart.